Hello there, Professor Warsi. Today we will learn the future perfect tense. In the previous lesson, we learned how to use the future progressive tense. Do you remember? If you haven't taken the lesson, I suggest that you do before you taking this lesson, so that will build up on what you have learned so far. So we will learn how actions are completed in the future. Okay, so today's objectives are to understand the future perfect tense, learn how it's structured and when it's used, and we will practice, as we always do, with examples and exercises, and I will give you a quiz to test your understanding. Okay, so let's begin. First and foremost, what is the future perfect tense? The future perfect tense describes actions that will be completed before a specific time in the future. Now remember, because this is the future tense, nothing has happened yet. All of the actions in the future tense happen at a specific time later in the future. So let's look at a couple of examples to understand this. By 5 p.m. tomorrow, I will have finished my work. I will have finished, right? Now compare that to the future progressive tense. I will be reading a novel by 5 p.m. But this one is by 5 p.m. tomorrow in the future, an action will have been completed. I will have finished my work. By next week, they will have moved to a new house. Okay? All right. How do we structure this? Now remember, in the previous lesson, we studied affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. So we will do the same here. In an affirmative sentence, we begin with the subject, the agent, the doer of the action, followed by will have. You need will because this is about the future, and the verb in the past participle form. Take, took, taken. Remember? So she will have completed the project by tomorrow. Now the example of take, took, taken that I gave you, those were irregular verbs. Completed is a regular verb. So we just attach the ed past suffix to it. She will have completed the project by tomorrow. And the negative form is easy. You just add not. She will not have completed the project by tomorrow. Okay? An interrogative sentence. How do we ask a question in the future perfect tense? Again, as you have done this before with the future progressive tense, you move the will verb to the beginning of the sentence. Will plus the subject, have, and the main verb in the past participle form. So, will you have finished by 6 p.m.? Let's say you say, he will have finished by 6 p.m. or finished the project. Will you have finished the project by 6 p.m.? So that's the future perfect tense. All right. So when do we use it? When do we use the future perfect tense? When an action is completed or will be completed before a specific time, right? So there are 5 sentences. I've highlighted the verbs. By next Friday, that's the time expression. When? By next Friday, I will have finished grading all the essays. 2, she will have completed her degree by the end of this semester. 3, by the time you arrive, we will have prepared everything for the party. So when will we have prepared everything for the party? By the time you arrive. Okay? Great. So now that we have learned how to use the future perfect tense, let's do an exercise. Okay? Complete each sentence using the future perfect tense of the verb in parentheses. Okay, so pause this video now and complete the exercise. All right. These are the answers. Now notice that each of the verbs end in a past participle form. Saved, finished, started, completed, traveled, will have saved, will have finished. Okay, so that's how we use the future perfect tense. All right. There is one more sentence exercise that I have thrown in there for you to compare the future perfect tense with the simple future tense. If you remember, that's how we started the future tense lessons. Okay, so I need you to read each sentence carefully and decide, right? You determine if it's in the future perfect tense or the simple future tense. For the future present tense, future perfect tense, write FP, and for the simple future, you write SF. So FP for future perfect and SF for simple future. Okay? Pause the video here and do the exercise, and we will go over the answers together after you have finished. Okay, so 1 is future perfect, 2 is simple future, 3 is future perfect, 4 is simple future, 5 is future perfect, 6 is simple future, 7 is future perfect, 8 is simple future, 9 is future perfect, and 10 is simple future. All right, you notice a pattern, right? They're all alternating, future perfect followed by simple future, again future perfect followed by simple future. So I try to make it easy for you. I hope you got all 10 answers correct. And if you didn't, there's nothing to worry about. You are a student, right? You're learning. So be confident and feel good that you're learning something and you're getting most of the answers correct. Okay, the second type of usage is when we make predictions or when we expect an action to happen. Examples are, by next year, they will have completed the project. So there is a deadline. I'm sure they will have completed the project before the deadline. By tomorrow morning, he will have finished reading the entire book. By the time you arrive, we will have prepared dinner for everyone. Scientists will have discovered a new treatment for the disease within the next decade. All right? So this is another situation in which we use the future perfect tense. Okay, so far so good. Affirmative examples, we have done this before, the 3 types, affirmative, negative, and interrogative. I will have completed the report by 9 a.m. She will have finished the exam by the afternoon. By the end of the year, we will have visited 5 countries. So notice the time expressions in these sentences. By 9 a.m., by the afternoon, by the end of the year, by 8 p.m., and by tomorrow morning. These are the time expressions used in the future perfect tense. Negative examples are easy. All you have to do is add not. So I will have completed the work by tomorrow is an affirmative sentence, and a negative sentence is I will not have completed the work by tomorrow. Okay? Now notice not appears in each of the sentences. Correct? So those are negative sentences. Okay. And I hope you're taking notes as well, in your notebook or even your tablet or your laptop or desktop, that as you're watching, you're also taking notes for reference and practice. Interrogative examples, right? You see will begins each of these sentences. So you will have finished your work by Friday is an affirmative sentence, and you move will to the beginning of the sentence, okay, in the front. Will you have finished your work by Friday? Will she have arrived by 6 p.m.? Will they have completed the task by the time I get there? Will Peter have moved the lawn by the time you arrive? Will she have finished dinner by 8 p.m.? Okay, these are all questions used in the future perfect tense. Okay, do an exercise. I made this lesson very short so you could learn this tense quickly. So we're very close to the end. I need you to complete this exercise. Fill in the blanks, okay, using the future perfect tense. There are 5 questions, and I need you to fill in the blanks. All right, so pause this video here and complete the exercise. Here are the answers. By 6 p.m. tomorrow, I will have finished my homework. By the time we get there, she will have left. By next year, we will have moved to a new house. By the time you arrive, we will have prepared dinner. By tomorrow morning, she will have finished reading the book. Okay? Did you get all the answers correct? I am sure you did. Okay, let's do one more exercise before we wrap up the lesson. I've given you 3 choices. There are 3 questions. For each question, I've given you 3 choices. By 10 a.m. tomorrow, they blank finish the meeting. A, B, or C. So complete the exercise. Are you ready for the answers? Here they are. 1 is A. They will have finished the meeting. 2 is B. I will have graduated. And 3 is C. I will have cleaned the bathroom. By what time? By 8 p.m. All right? Very good. So we're almost done. Let's just wrap up and learn some of the key takeaways. The future perfect tense describes actions that will be completed by a certain point in the future. And how do we form the sentence? What is the structure of the sentence? Subject followed by will have. Remember, in order for it to be the future perfect tense, you need will have. I will have done something. The verb is in the past participle form. And some of the time expressions, I have given you quite a few, are by tomorrow, by next year. These are commonly used time expressions. And I need you to practice using the future perfect in different contexts. So retake this lesson, all right, just to make sure that you have learned the future perfect tense correctly. And I will see you in the next video. So the next lesson is on the future perfect progressive tense. I will have been doing something. So until then, work hard. Write your questions in the comment box below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.